this buildup is still happening.
And while it's been in the works for nearly a decade, Governor Eddie Calvo gives his assurance that the military buildup is still moving forward, despite a slight delay in the record of decision.
Originally, we were looking at late June for the record of decision, but there's been a delay, and we're hopeful that it'll be late summer. A lot of it has to do with the issues that have been brought forth between the Navy and Fish and Wildlife.
Following a trip to Washington, D.C. back in March, Governor Calvo noted officials told him the record of decision was expected in late spring, a date he says was before June 26. Joint Guam Program Office Deputy Director Major Darren Alvarez confirms the delay is a result of the Navy and U.S. Fish and Wildlife still in final consultations.
They are continuing to do these consultations, and really what they're focusing on is making sure that there's enough recovery habitat in the northern area of Guam to support the recovery of the Micronesian kingfisher, which is an endangered species.
These consultations, he says, are based on the preferred alternatives outlined in the Supplemental Environmental Impact Statement.
We've got the main side base or cantonment, which is going to be at Finnegajan, where most of the Marines themselves will be. The range is still looking to be at Northwest Field. And right now, also the housing, that was the one change from the draft, is that the housing is over at Anderson now. So instead of having to cut down some of the areas in Finnegajan, they've displaced it over to Anderson to augment the housing there. So those are still our preferred alternatives right now.
Once the final SCIS is completed, the record of decision will follow shortly thereafter, sometime this summer.
The record of decision is actually, no kidding, after the study has totally been done. It's going to be the decision by the decision maker in Washington, D.C. to say, okay, this is the path we're going to go forward. Out of all our choices, this is the one we're going to select.
And like Governor Calvo, Alvarez also offers his assurance that despite the slight delay, the buildup will in fact move forward.
Again, we've executed probably about $350 million to $400 million worth of work on this buildup. So yes, I believe it's still going to continue forward. I don't think we're worried about that.
The overall bill for the buildup is pegged at $8.9 billion. Alvarez says the buildup will result in 5,000 active duty Marines, 2/3 of which will be here for a 6-month rotation only. He says an additional 1,300 dependents will be joining the third of those Marines who are permanently stationed on Guam. And while it's a 66% reduction of total people, he says it is more manageable infrastructure-wise for the island. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintanilla.